Leaves from my journal, Logan Pierce's daily writings from the Washington, D.C. South Mission. Day 55, May 22nd, 2006. I'm going with Elder B.A. to the doctor. I'm fine. He just needs an exchange to go with him, while my companion, Elder B.U., and Elder O.R. work in the Reston area. Since Elder B.A.'s been out of commission for a couple of weeks, the Reston area only gets worked whenever Elder O.R. gets an exchange. We're arriving at the chiropractors now to clear up a few things. At the MTC on the 14th day of my mission, day 14, I wrote about a debate we had. The question was, did Adam sin when he fell? Elder M.E. professed that yes, Adam's fall was the first sin. Elder M.A. and I were of the opinion that the fall of Adam was not a sin. Brother A. ruled in favor of Elder M.E. He told me that in the big scheme of things, it didn't matter whether Adam's fall was a sin or a transgression because he was able to be forgiven through repentance. That was a good lesson for me to learn. Thanks to my family, however, I learned a lesson that may be more important. I was right. My mom mailed me this excerpt from Matthew B. Brown's book, The Plan of Salvation. It helps clarify the subject of sin versus transgression. Did Adam and Eve commit sin when they partook of the forbidden fruit? The prophet Joseph Smith emphatically declared that Adam did not commit sin in eating the fruits, for God had decreed that he should eat and fall. The Lord refers in a modern revelation to Adam's act as a transgression instead of a sin. He says, "Wherefore it came to pass that the devil tempted Adam, and he partook of the forbidden fruit and transgressed the commandment." D&C 29:40-41. Therefore Adam was guilty of a transgression. In Moses 6:53, it is revealed that the Lord told Adam after the fall, "I have forgiven thee thy transgression in the Garden of Eden." Elder Bruce R. McConkie tells us that, quote, "sins cannot be committed unless laws are ordained," see Alma 42:17, and unless people have knowledge of those laws so that they can violate them. Adam and Eve could not commit sin while in the Garden of Eden, although laws of conduct had already been established, because the knowledge of good and evil had not yet been given to them. Unless they had partaken of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they would have remained in a state of innocence, for they knew no sin. 2 Nephi 2:23. Elder Dallin H. Oakes clarified the difference between a sin and a transgression when he said that some acts, like murder, are crimes because they are inherently wrong. Other acts, like operating without a license, are crimes only because they are legally prohibited. Under these distinctions, the act that produced the fall was not a sin, inherently wrong, but a transgression, wrong because it was formally prohibited. These words, transgression and sin, are not always used to denote something different, but this distinction seems meaningful in the circumstances of the fall. Unquote. Brother Daniel H. Ludlow helps us to get a better grasp on the circumstances of our first parents when they dwelt within the boundaries of paradise. He says that, quote, "although Adam and Eve had great intellect and powers of reason in the Garden of Eden, they were without experience. Although they had the opportunity of choice and the freedom of choice in the Garden of Eden, they were not morally free because they did not fully understand the consequences of their choice." Unquote. Even though they heard the Father speak the words, "In the day thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die," what was death to Adam and Eve? The veil of forgetfulness had already been placed over their minds. They had never seen death, nor experienced it. They could not understand it. And because they did not fully comprehend the consequences of what they did, their disobedience of the law is referred to as a transgression, not as a sin, and consequently comes under the unconditional part of the atonement of Jesus Christ. I hope this explains to one and all that the fall of Adam was not the first sin. So, I was right. Elder M.A. was right. I won't let it go to my head, though. I still love to debate. But thank you for listening. I'll be back later with more leaves from my journal. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.